Good morning guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is a bit different cockpit than it used to be. So I'm riding the Ninja 300. I think this is the 2018 or 19 model, but boy oh boy, it's so smooth. Yeah. So today's video is going to be how the Ninja 300 performs in the city, like how it is to ride this beautiful bike in the city. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just taking it from the heaviest of heaviest traffic situations. Actually it's afternoon time, so I'm not sure if the traffic is going to be too heavy, but you know, like for someone who's taking this bike out, you know, you get an idea of how it is, you know, riding this bike in the city. So I've made a separate video on the first impressions of how I find this bike, and a lot of people sort of complain that I'm constantly comparing this bike to Himalayan. So let me just clarify that in this video I'm not going to compare this bike to Himalayan, but because and I'll justify like why I tried to compare it in the first or the previous video as well, because I am not a journalist and I don't have any like comparison theory or anything or how a bike should be, you know, because I've only ridden the Himalayan and then I straight away rode the Ninja 300. I've ridden Thunderbirds and so on, but it's quite similar to, you know, like it's all Royal Enfields. So riding the Ninja 300 was like way another level, because it's so smooth, the engine is so refined, and the category is whole lot of different, you know. But anyways, like coming straight to the point, like how this bike performs in the city and how it is, one thing I'll just tell you that this bike is smooth as F, you know, like there's no stress, like no stress at all. Right now I'm in second gear at a very comfortable pace. If I want to overtake this rickshaw, I'll just pop up the throttle and it goes like anything. Look at this. And now the braking as well. From 66 I think it straight went to 11. So that proves like how efficient the braking is. And in this situation, if I was in the Himalayan, again comparing it, but let me just tell the point that if I was in Himalayan, obviously it is an adventure bike and it is not supposed to have such crisp brakes, because this is like a sports bike. But anyways, I have to like panic brake on the Himalayan, but with this it's so efficient, you know. I'm just braking at a normal pace and it does the job, you know. It does the job. So if you're someone like who's not into, like who's mostly going to use it in city, I think this is like a great bike, you know. Like if you have the money and if you want to go for a 300cc bike, or you know, even start learning, not learning as in like if you're like one step ahead of the beginner curve and you want a nice like great performance bike, then this is like a really great choice. Obviously you need to have like the passion for sports bike like I have for the adventure bike, but you know, bikes are bikes, you know, so I enjoy like every kind. But anyways, and I'm not going to open it up because in the city it's very hard to open it up. Like in the third gear itself, like you saw how much power and how much smooth it was, but I was on the third gear. It went to like the speeds of 66, 67, and whoa. Okay, I'm going to take an inside route right now. Even the turning is like quite good. and I'm very comfortable. Like the stance is not quite like a race bike. You know, you're not in that very track mode kind of thing. You're just, you know, being normal, not upright, but I can say normal. You're just leaning a bit, and for any city commute I think it's way more comfortable. You don't have to worry about you know, the stance or the posture, because you're not going to ride for 300-400 kilometers in the city. You're just going to ride max to max about 50 or 100 kilometers if you're going too far. But all, like right now I'm doing this video, I'm just going to travel I think 5-6 kilometers, I don't know. So this is like awesome. Another thing is, like, it's going to grab attention obviously because it's a Kawasaki. The green color or even the blue which it has, it is going to grab eyeballs. And with the new color scheme of the 300, it's quite similar to that of ZX-10R. So obviously that looks pretty sexy and it's going to grab eyeballs. So again, for, like, you know, if you want to park this bike or if you want to do that, you have to take care of it. And again, with the sports bike, like, it looks hot as hell if it's clean. So again, speed breaker. So the reason I'm taking from this empty road is because there are too many speed breakers on this. So just to show you like how the ground clearance acts on these breakers. And again, you don't have to, you know, change the gears more too often, because good low end torque, as you can say. Now there's going to be a huge speed breaker up ahead. I'm in the third gear I think, and here I go second. No problem. And the only one issue I think with this bike is, like, you just want to pop up the throttle open and you just want to ride hard, because the stance is so like urging you to, you know, pop the throttle open, and you want to do stuff like, you know, just go, but you can't because you're in the city. You want to ride safely and you want to, you know, be a responsible person if you are. But this bike is really awesome, and this bike will be more enjoyable obviously on the highways, but even in the city, like, if you have found peace with yourself that you have to go below the speed of what it is made for, then I think it's a pretty great bike. Like, if you want a thing such as the Ninja 300, so obviously you're not going to ride it on highways every day unless you're like a nomad kind of a person, and that too you're buying the Ninja 300. But assume that you are a working professional and you want to take this bike to your workplace, which is like 15-20 kilometers away. I think this is a great bike. Like, even with your backpack on, it will look cool. Secondly, the gear shifts are smooth, the braking is very efficient, so, you know, there's no need to like worry about, you know, wearing like that proper clothes and all that. And there are less chances that your feet get hurt with this gear lever, unlike the Himalayan, which is like very pretty rough and clunky. It's very smooth. Even the clutch is very smooth. I can use the 2-finger thing with this, and well, it's very good. Okay, so this is where I can So this bike urges you to pop the throttle open. So this is taking me to places where it's like empty and not in the traffic. But like if you're traveling by highways, and you want to get quicker to your work, I think this is like a great bike. But jokes apart, if you drive responsibly, even so at lower speeds, this bike is smooth. Like genuinely, it's so smooth. So can you buy this bike as a daily commuter? Like there's no such thing as like you have to buy this bike for this and that and all that, unless you're a very professional rider. Like there are specific things for specific situations. But if you're an amateur rider, a passionate biker and all that, you can do all the stuff you want to do on any of these bikes. Like I can buy Ninja 300 if I like it so much, and I can ride it up to Leh. JS Films does it. JS Films did it with his S1000RR. He did it with his Hayabusa. He rode the Ninja H2 to Bombay from Delhi for the IBW last year. So what's stopping you? And same way as you can just take this bike on the city ride and enjoy it. You can use it for your daily commute. But can you actually use it for the daily commute? Yes, you can use it for the daily commute, because this is not a liter class that you have to learn riding and control your bike. This is a 300cc bike, a very nimble bike. It's not that heavy. It's not going to put you through a lot of stress. It's not going to make you suffer on a bike. It's going to let you in. It's going to let you enjoy riding, and it is going to make you feel like awesome, because you're on a Ninja. No matter what cc, you're on a Kawasaki Ninja that is going to grab eyeballs. Another, it's performance and everything that comes with it, the smoothness, the refinement and all that. So for the city, hell yes, you can buy it. If you have the money, you can. So why not buy the Ninja 300? So to be very clear and very honest, I think there are a lot of options out there. There's the RC390, which comes with 90cc extra. Then there's the Domina 400, which is way lot cheaper than the Ninja 300. Then there's KTM 390 Duke, which is another great option. But if you are a Kawasaki fanboy, if you want that green color in your life, this is the bike you can start with, and you'll have no complaints. I'm not sure of the service arrangement of this bike, the after service, how costly it is, and how much does it cost. I have no idea, I'll be honest with you. But I think it's going to cost more than the Bajaj and the Royal Enfields. I'm pretty sure about that. So you can make way for your decisions based on that also, because if you're buying a bike, only the bike doesn't matter. Like you're passionate and all that, everything is taken into consideration, but with that also practicability matters. You can buy a 4 lakh bike like this one, but if you don't have much to spend for your servicing, then what's the point of buying? Rather buy a Bajaj Domina, which will cost way less than the Kawasaki's. So even that matters, and you'll get all that fun in Bajaj Domina 400. I can vouch for that. Not like 100% fun, but 80% of the fun you can get it in Bajaj Domina. So yeah, I mean, I'm riding it like right now. It's like they're jamming me in. I'm riding this bike, and there's like no stress on me, no stress at all. I'm not a professional rider. I'm a very amateur rider to begin with, and I am finding no issues like riding this bike. The height is lesser, so easily any size of rider, any rider with any height or anything like that can ride this bike, and it will have no issues. So I think it's a great bike for daily commuting. Taken like also to notice that you're not just going to daily commute on this bike, because you will not do justice to it. Because if you are going to do just riding on this bike in the city, then it's going to be a bit boring for the bike as well. So it wants you to pop that throttle open, it wants you to go take the speeds higher and all that. So for someone who is interested in highway runs and going to use it for commuting as well, this bike is really great. You don't need another bike for that. The heat management, I can say, is also very good. I mean, I don't feel any heat. I'm wearing denims and I don't feel any heat up till now. I have not crossed 4th gear as of now. I'm just riding it in 1, 2 and 3, but there's like no heating as such that I can see. So again, with that also, it's great. No vibrations, no heating, no stress. The stance feels comfortable for shorter distances, and the price is a bit thing is a thing to look out for. But if you have the money, just go for it. You can take it to the track, you can take it for short highway runs. If you are like someone passionate, crazy about taking this bike up to the mountains, you can too. But for most of like the general crowd, yeah, you can ride it in city too. If I'm buying a 4 lakh bike like a practical person, I'm not just going to keep it for the Sunday rides. I'm just going to take it anywhere I can. So that means riding in the city too. So this bike is really great, very nimble, very agile, and very great for riding in the city. So this was not a very structured review, as I can say, but these were just my opinions while I was riding, very honest opinions, and what I thought about it. I may have missed a few points. You can comment them down and I can answer them later. But the overall thing about riding this bike in the city is that yes, you can ride this bike easily. And I'm not saying this because to generalize or to promote that any bike is rideable in the city and all that, but genuinely like this bike has no issues as well, like to ride in the city. There's like not certain urge of power boost when you change gears, we shift gears and all that. That's not there. So it's very smooth, very light, very nimble, very fun to ride bike. So yeah, you can. And on these speed breakers, you have to slow down. You can't saddle. You can, but it's a bit risky. Anyway, jokes apart, that was my video about if Ninja 300 can be rideable in the city, if it can fit as a daily commuter. So long story short, it can fit as a daily commuter, but to do justice to the bikes, you have to take this bike out for highway rides as well on Sundays in the morning at 5 AM. So that was it guys for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have liked it. Please do like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and bye bye.